It's received 1.3 million hits on YouTube. It's gone, you know, worldwide. It is truly viral right now.
And the headlines were saying things like Canadians stand up to an anti-Muslim bigot. That's from the Washington Post.
So for those of you that don't know, in 2014, I did a social experiment where I ended up getting punched in the face.
Stay here. The social experiment had a negative ending to it, but you know what? It's positive because he stood up for him, and I appreciate that. That's good.
Devin, Gammo.
Dev, how is your nose, first of all?
Oh, it's great, you know. I mean, it was quite the hit, but I recovered pretty quick, and, you know, it's doing well.
So the reason why I'm making this video is because I never really got to tell the full story on the social experiment. I was able to tell bits and pieces of it on CTV and breakfast television, but I think it's a pretty funny story. And I wish I made this video back then, back in 2014, and uploaded this on my YouTube channel. But here it is now.
Devin's gonna play the Caucasian man that verbally abuses him, and this is based on the events that happened in Ottawa.
So for those of you that don't know, in 2014, there was a series of shootings in Ottawa, and it was labeled as a terrorist attack. So the goal in mind with this video was to just see how tolerant Canadians were with racism. I think we proved the point.
I'm sorry, but this is a friend of mine. I'm with him too. You leave him alone or I'm going to call the police.
I didn't really think that was going to get any reaction. I thought people would just be kind of standing around, staring at their phones, not really saying anything. Boy, was I surprised. So let me start from the top.
We had the gentleman responsible for that video and that social experiment, and boy, were you guys taking a chance at doing that.
I was doing a video on something else in Toronto. I was asking people, what would you do with $1 million?
Yeah.
And I was asking random people on the street. He was one of them. One of the people I asked, and I asked, and he gave me like some funny answer.
I tell him that I do social experiments as well, and that I'd be interested in doing a collab. And he says the same thing. I remember coming home a little under the influence, and by a little I mean a lot.
You know what the thing is he messaged me probably at like 3 in the morning, and he told me the concept, he told me the situation, and I didn't really have to think about it. I was just like, I'm down to do that.
He described this idea to me. He said that, you know, it was a more serious social experiment.
I do more like comedy-based stuff, but this was really an interesting one for me.
He said he wanted me to play this racist asshole that would go up to his friend that would be dressed in traditional Islamic attire.
I'm saying that this guy looks like a terrorist and it's not safe to go on the bus.
That is ridiculous. You, man, what the hell? Why would you call him a terrorist just because he's dressed like that?
We were getting reactions right off the cuff. The first clip, we got a good reaction. The next clip, we got a good reaction. But this was one of the very few videos where every clip we shot, we used. Usually when I shoot a prank video, I have so much footage that I don't end up using because I have to chop it into a 2.5, 3, 4 minute video, and I only take the best reactions. But with this one, we probably filmed the video in 45 minutes. As I'm getting further into it, as we're shooting more and more clips, I'm getting more and more into character. I remember this clear as day. I told my camera guy, okay, make sure you're rolling on this clip because this is gonna be the shot. I knew that it was gonna be an interesting reaction. And right off the bat, I started standing up for him. And I was thinking, okay, this is gonna be an interesting reaction.
Why's he gotta go with you?
Because I want to get him away from this building.
And I remember this one guy, the one guy that was in the plaid shirt. I really thought that he was gonna throw a punch. So I remember he takes out his top row of teeth, puts it in his pocket, and says, if you wanna do something, we can go upstairs and do it right now.
We got a problem, but we can go upstairs and deal with it.
You know, I was like a horse with my blinders on. I was really just pushing for that reaction. At the same time, I was bracing myself for anything that he was gonna do. But I didn't realize, I didn't take into consideration what else was around me, who else was around me. And this guy who I had never talked to before comes up from behind me and punches me in the face.
You can stay here.
So I back up at that point and I'm just bewildered. Because there was the one guy that was talking to me, there was the one guy who came out of nowhere, punched me in the face, and at that point they're both coming towards me and I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yo, this is a social experiment. It's a social experiment.
Get out of here, buddy. You're gonna get fucked up.
And then what you guys can't see is that when I backed up out of frame, there were 3 more of their buddies waiting for me. So they all surround me in a circle, and at that point I'm thinking, holy shit, like there's 5 guys around me. I was still in that character, in that mode of, we gotta get the shot. So I crossed the street and I wanted to do an outro with the blood coming down my face because I didn't want to wipe it up. I wanted to shoot that as it was dripping down and then, you know, do the outro like that.
I kind of backed up and then crossed the street, and the cops were pretty much waiting for me.
To be honest, I don't really remember. So.
Don't remember?
No.
Okay.
The guy came up from behind me. So.
Okay, no problem. You're good to go though. Okay.
All right, sounds good.
Just give us a shout.
He was really adamant with pushing me to press charges on this guy. At first I was thinking, wow, this guy's such a dickhead for punching me in the face. But then I was thinking, yeah, no, I deserved it. I deserved to get punched in the face. I was the dickhead. So that was that. I do the outro, wipe up the blood off my face. We're packing up the camera equipment. And this guy in the plaid comes along with two sketchy looking guys. And they're looking like they're high on something. Their eyes are bobbing around, looking off into space, and they're kind of trailing behind him. And so the guy comes up to me, the same guy who I was talking to, and he says to me, "What was all that about, man?" And he told me that those were the guys he had called to come and kick the shit out of me. So when he wanted me to go upstairs with him, he had these two hitmen that he's texting up to come and fight me with him. So I just thought that was funny. And then, you know, we were cool afterwards. We shook hands. They were on their way. And what people always ask me...
When you explained it, did the guy say anything right after?
You know what? I never actually saw that guy right after.
They always ask me if I saw the guy that punched me in the face afterwards. No, and I still haven't. I did see the guy who I was originally confronting, who pulled out his top row of teeth. A story that I've always wanted to tell. So other than that, enjoy, subscribe, and ta-ta for now.